Go to Google and type Rathod's IAS. Then you can see our website, Rathod's IAS Academy. There you have to click on login or register in the blue color. So if you have not registered yet, you have to click on do not have account and fill the details. So once you have login, click on the courses. There you can see course list. And in this course list, you can see wide range of courses. Hi, this is Usha. Welcome to Rathod's IAS classes. Today in this lecture, we are going to see current affairs of 28th June 2022. So let's get started with our discussion and let us try to see the today's quote. So before seeing this quote, I want to say today is the last day for registration for this mains answer writing course. So please do registrations, and this course is absolutely useful. So if you see the quote, it is a motivation quote. So quote says that if you don't like the road you are walking, start paving another one. So this is very much significant for UPSC aspirant. So whenever they are choosing a path, and if that path had not been worked, means you have to chase another path to achieve your dream of clearing UPSC. Okay, so try to analyze the mistakes that you had done and try to overcome those mistakes, and you can come up with a new path. And now let us try to say first topic. It is regarding Environment Performance Index, that is EPI. So this topic is important from your environment and ecology, which mainly comes under your GS paper 3. So actually we studied about this topic number of times, and now once again we are going to see what are the issues regarding this Environment Performance Index, and we are going to see the points which are very much relevant from our UPSC. So here, if you are talking about this Environment Performance Index, so which is the organization which made releasing it, that is World Economic Forum along with Yale universities and as well as another university. They mainly came up with this EPI Environment Performance Index. So it is based on three important things, that is climate change, ecosystem vitality and as well as environmental health. And there are about 11 dimensions like climate change mitigation, biodiversity and habitat, ecosystem services, fisheries, acid rains, agriculture, water resources, air quality, sanitation and drinking water, heavy metals and waste management. So these are 11 dimensions. So for these 11 dimensions, we have 40 indicators. So based on this here, this World Economic Forum that will be coming up with this Environment Performance Index, that is EPI in short. So why this is a cause of concern now? So if you see recently this 2022 Environment Performance Index which may be released, and in this index, so India got last rank, that is 180 out of 180 rank. So because of this is one cause of concern. And earlier in 2020 we got rank of 168 out of this 180, and now this year in 2022 we got rank of 180 by 180. So if you see some facts regarding this Environment Performance Index, so actually it is an international ranking system. So EPI, it is international ranking system, and it mainly measures environment health. It mainly measures environment health and as well as sustainability. So sustainability and environment health which is mainly measured. And this EPI, it is a biennial index. That means, so this index will be released once in every 2 years. Actually this index which made released from 2002. Okay, that time it was called as Environment Sustainability Index by World Economic Forum. And here this Environment Performance Index which mainly published by Yale Center for Environment Law and Policy and as well as the Center for International Science, okay, Information Network, Columbia University. So Columbia University and Yale University along with this World Economic Forum, they will release this Environment Performance Index. So actually it is a method of quantifying and as well as numerically marking the environment performance of different state policies. Yes, if you say different state, they will be having different policies. So based on that, they will be analyzed and ranking will be given. Okay, in this 2022 Environment Performance Index, so it is mainly provides data driven summary of state of sustainability around the world. Actually, there are 40 performance indicators across 11 categories, and it is mainly based on 3 important dimensions, that is climate change performance, environmental health, and as well as ecosystem vitality. And these indicators which mainly provide a gauge that at a national scale and how close countries to be established in economic environmental policy targets. So these indicators which mainly provides about the data, like how country it is mainly focusing and country which is mainly performing, and what are the environment policy targets they have been reached. So based on all these, so this index which mainly given. And actually this environment performance index, which is a powerful policy tool, and it mainly support efforts to meet targets of United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so this is about some important basic facts from your EPI. So these basic facts will be important from your prelims. And if you see what is the significance of this EPI, so here API will be giving ranking, right? So based on that ranking, we can understand country how it is mainly addressing the challenges of environment. Okay, and even it mainly provides a note on what are the problems just facing by the country, and what is the development that can be done, and what policies can be come up, and even it will be helpful to understand the outcomes and to understand or to identify best policy practices also. So the data and fact-based analysis that will also very much helpful for the government officials, mainly to come up with policy, to new policy or policy agendas, and it will also facilitate communications with the key stakeholders, and finally it will focus on maximizing of result or maximizing on return on environmental investments. And here in this 2022 Environment Performance Index, which mainly supports evolving climate policy discussions, and they will be come up with a new indicator, okay, and they are mainly focusing on net zero emissions. Actually, you know that recent COP26, okay, recent conference of party 26, so which mainly held recently in November 2021 in Glasgow. So here in this COP26, they mainly focused on this net zero or carbon neutrality, and different countries like China, US, and even India, which mainly came up with this net zero emission target by 2070. Okay, India's target is 2070 and China's target is 2060, like that. So based on this country's abilities, those countries policies, they mainly came up with these targets in this COP26. Right. So if you're talking about some facts regarding this Environment Performance Index, key highlights of this 2022. So the top countries includes Denmark, UK, Finland, Malta, and Sweden. So these are the 5 top countries they listed. Okay, they are top listed in this index. And the lowest, the first last lowest here is we can say like India got 180 by 180 rank, and Vietnam 178, Bangladesh 177, Pakistan 176. So here we can see that the bordering countries or nearby countries of India, they are performing well, like Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Vietnam. Okay, India got a very low rank, and overall score of India, it is just 18.9. Okay, and India ranks at the bottom of all countries in this Environment Performance Index of 2022. Okay, so why? Because here there are some issues regarding air quality and increasing of greenhouse emissions, and these are some urgent challenges that we need to face, that we need to address. So this is the report highlight. And if you see China and India, they are projected to be largest and the second largest greenhouse emitters. And India also scored very low in some areas like rule of law and control of corruption, government effectiveness, according to this Environment Performance Index. So why India, which is main opposing this report? So yes, our Environment Ministry, Government of India, which mainly opposed the use of this new indicator in climate policy. Okay, it is one of the important thing, because yes, we are coming up with climate policy. So whenever India's performance in this EPI which is very low means what happened, so it mainly says that yes, we need to change the policy or we need to come up with a new policy. So because of this, Environment Ministry which mainly opposed the use of this new indicator in this climate policy objective, that is mainly focusing on greenhouse gas emission levels in 2050. And here what are some concerns which are mainly raised by India? So recently in the perspectives of the Sansad, I heard that complete program, and they said that whatever the methodology which mainly used for this environment performance index, which is a flawed methodology, and this methodology, it is like arbitrary. They should not this, if you see whatever the indicators that they used in this year, they might be or might not be using in the next. Okay, so because of this flawed methodology, yes, India got this rank. But they said that yes, we are having some inbuilt problems in our environment, especially regarding air pollution, especially in this National Capital Territory region, land degradation, deforestation, greenhouse gas emissions, etc. But India, which is mainly coming up with a number of policies for the protection of environment. We are having number of laws in India which mainly focusing on this environment protection. So these are some ideas that I got from that perspective program. So here this article says that average rate of change in emission of last 10 years instead of modeling that taken into account for a longer period. So the extent of renewable energy capacity and use and additional carbon sinks energy efficiency of respective countries. So this EPI 2022, which is mainly based on average rate of change of emission in the last 10 years, instead that take into account into a longer period. So here they also focused on extent of renewable energy capacity use and even additional carbon sinks and energy efficiency, etc. So this is also one important thing which mainly highlighted. And if you see forest, wetlands of the country, they are very much crucial. They will be acting as carbon sinks, but they have not been factored while computing regarding this greenhouse gas emissions trajectory. And next one here is, so historical data on this lowest emission trajectory which has been ignored, and index which mainly computes the extent of ecosystems, but their condition or productivity. It did not include indicators like agrobiodiversity. It does not include like soil health, food loss and waste. Okay, so they are very important for the developing countries, but they are not included. And next one is the weight of the indicators in which India performed well, it has been reduced. So where, in which indicators India is performing well, so the weightage of that indicators had been reduced. Okay, so these are some important reasons why India, which is mainly opposing this Environment Performance Index 2022 report. So if you are talking about suggestions for India, so India needs to redouble national sustainability efforts on all fronts. Okay, so India needs to redouble whatever the sustainability efforts that is taking. And next one is country, it needs to focus on wide spectrum of sustainability issues. So we need to focus on the sustainability issues with a high priority on critical issues like, for example, air, water quality, biodiversity, climate change. So in these areas we need to focus. So this is about this topic in detail. And now let us try to move on to next topic. It is regarding designation failure. So already we studied about introduction of this topic or background of this topic, I think day before yesterday's lecture. So this article which mainly says that China, which is mainly blocking to designate terrorists under this United Nations Security Council. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So you need to know about what is this United Nations Security Council resolution, and you need to know about some background regarding this topic. So this topic is important from your GS paper to under international relations, and this topic it is important from your mains point of view, not from prelims. So now let us try to see context. You know about this context, right? So what happened? So China came up with blocking of decision, okay, regarding this United Nations Security Council regarding designation of LET Lashkar-e-Taiba Deputy Chief, that is Abdul Rahman Makki, as a terrorist. Okay, so Beijing, which is repeatedly blocking the designation of this LET, okay, members and even Jaish-e-Mohammed members until 2019. So in 2019, till 2019, China which mainly blocked designation of this Jaish-e-Mohammed chief, that is Masood Azhar. Okay, and later on they mainly came up with this designation of this Masood Azhar under this United Nations Security Council. So if you are talking about why India which is mainly dissatisfied, yes, India which mainly expressed dissatisfaction with China, which is mainly blocking further listing of this Abdul Rahman Makki as United Nations Security Council designated terrorist, because he was mainly involved in the number of terror attacks in India. So because of this, India which mainly expressed some dissatisfaction. So if you are talking about background of this person, Abdul Rahman Makki, he is a brother-in-law of elite chief, that is Hafiz Syed. So he was convicted as a mastermind of Mumbai 26/11 terror attacks. And Makki was wanted a number of classes of this terrorism and terror financing in India, and he has been designated as a wanted terrorist by government. So actually he may be involved in the number of cases of terrorism and as well as terror financing in India, and actually this person was designated as a most wanted person, a most wanted terrorist by government of India. And the proposal to list this Makki under this United Nations Security Council sanctions, which mainly issued to United Nations Security Council 1267 committee. Okay, but however China waited until the last day to raise objections to the listing. So because of this, India which mainly expressed some dissatisfaction. So if you are talking about some facts regarding this United Nations Security Council 1267 committee. So this committee was set up mainly based on resolution, that is 1267 resolution, which mainly passed in year 1999. In 1999 resolution which mainly passed, okay, so here this committee was set up based on that resolution. So this committee name is United Nations Security Council 1267 committee, and this committee which mainly focuses on implementation of sanctions and even measures under resolutions 1267, 1989, 2253. Okay, they are mainly regarding this ISIS, Al-Qaeda associated individuals, groups, etc. So actually this committee which mainly comprises 15 members of United Nations Security Council, and the decision which will be taken based on this consensus. And if you are talking about what will be the impact of sanctions, so why we are saying that yes, we need to go for designating of that so and so person as United Nations Security Council designated terrorist. So what will be the advantages? Yes, what are the assets which are present? So those assets will be got freezed. All states are mandated to freeze the funds and financial and economic assets of that designated individual and entities. And this one is travel ban. So all states, they are mandated to prevent the entry and as well as transit of these designated individuals to their territories. And next one is arms embargo. So all states are mandated to prevent direct or indirect supply, sale and transfer of arms and other materials. Okay, materials, for example, even some spare parts, technical advices, training, etc. Okay, so these will be the advantages. Assets will be seized, and even there will be travel ban and as well as arms embargo. So India's response here is, India which mainly has called Chinese decision to place technical hold on listing of this person. It is a regrettable and extremely unfortunate. So here Chinese step which is mainly taken here, India says it is extremely unfortunate. So India mainly accused China of following double standards in claiming of combating terrorism. And India also claimed Chinese divergence from commitments reached through BRICS NSA meeting hosted by China. Okay, and they mainly committed to closer cooperation on combating terrorism. So these are some important points. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding monsoon jitters. So this article which is mainly talking about monsoon, and this article will give you insights regarding what is happening across the India regarding this monsoon. So this topic is important from your geography point of view, which mainly comes under your GS paper 1. So actually monsoon which mainly derives from the word monsoon. So the meaning of monsoon is seasonal reversal of winds. Okay, seasonal reversal of winds. So if you are talking about why it is in news, actually monsoon winds, they landed early in Kerala. So as you all know, these monsoon winds, they will be hitting this Kerala coast on June 1st, and later on they will be bifurcated in two branches, Arabian Sea branch and next one is Bay of Bengal branch. So this Bay of Bengal branch, that will be bringing amount of rainfall in this northeastern India, and finally this Arabian branch and Bay of Bengal branch, they will be meeting near this National Capital Territory region, Delhi. Okay, so what happened here? So monsoon which mainly landed early in Kerala. So before June 1st itself, so this monsoonal winds, they mainly hit this coast of Kerala. So here the journey which mainly started, okay, right? So whenever these winds are mainly hitting this coast of Kerala, then they will be starting moving forward. Okay, so what happened here? This article says that, so the latest IMD suggests that monsoon is running with 8% of deficit. Okay, especially central India, they had largest swath of land. So this land which is mainly dependent on this rainfed agriculture, that is rainfall which we get from this monsoon season. So they only got 52% of rain, that is mainly due, and in southern peninsula we can see there is 22% of deficit. So in southern peninsula and even in the central India, so we are seeing there is deficit of this rainfall which had to happen due to this monsoons. So only India's eastern part and as well as northeastern parts, they are mainly having good rainfall, and we are seeing there is too much of rain, and especially Assam and Meghalaya, they are mainly facing floods like situation, and in many areas they went for submerging, okay, submerging of many places and even entire villages. So here in the southern part and central Indian part, we have deficit of rainfall, but here in this northeastern region as well as eastern part, yes, we are having a good rainfall, and even we are seeing flood like situations here. So the northwest of India, so where the monsoon it is yet to arrive and reeling under the stress of heat waves. So but here if you see, here in this part we will be getting good rainfall, and here southern part and as well central part there is no rainfall, and even in this northwest region, so they have to receive the rainfall, and still in this region they are mainly facing these heat waves. Okay, and deficit of rainfall, it is about 33% in this northwest part of India. So if you are seeing about this June rainfall, which is particularly in the first fortnight, is historical very much, because it will be helpful for the sowings of Kharif season. So whenever we are having these episodes of drought in India, those that are mainly linked to agriculture failures, when the monsoon fails in these 2 months, especially in the month of June and as well as July, whenever there is no rainfall, means that will lead to drought. So whenever the drought is happening, so that will be having some negative impact on agriculture failure as well. So we can see there will be increasing incidence of agriculture failure. On May 31st, as part of its updated forecast, here IMD which mainly said that from June to September, rainfall over the country will be like 103% of long average period, and central India will also going to get above normal rainfall here, and the core monsoon zone, okay, which mainly consists of 2 of rainfed agriculture regions, and they will be mainly expected to receive above normal rain. So this is about the recent forecast of this IMD. So in the previous years, there has been pattern of normal and above normal rains being forecasted. Okay, so what happened, this article says that yes, IMD came up with the forecast, and it said that we are going to get good rainfalls, and there is no El Nino, and we are seeing there is a La Nina like situation, okay, based on the temperature difference, okay, which is mainly seen in this Pacific Ocean waters. And why this deficit which is mainly seen, and if there is no rainfall in these 2 months like June and July, so we cannot go for sowings, okay, that will be helpful for sowing of this Kharif crop. Okay, so this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. Title says Indian interest at WTO Ministerial Conference. Actually this is 12th Ministerial Conference of WTO. So this topic is important from our economy point of view, which mainly comes in a GS paper 3. So now let us try to talk about this topic in a very great detail. So if you see, first of all we need to know context, that is why it is in news, and later on details. Okay, so if you see context, on June 17th, member countries of this WTO, World Trade Organizations, they mainly wrapped up for this 12th Ministerial Conference. And they are mainly focusing on different agreements. For example, patent regulations for this COVID-19 vaccines. And they mainly focused on food security and fisheries sector, there is subsidies for this fisheries sector, and continuing of moratoriums relevant to this e-commerce and even some other important areas of discussions. And if you are talking about details, so actually this ministerial conference, it's a very top WTO's organizational chart, and here they will be going to meet once in every 2 years, and they will be taking decisions on the matters regarding multilateral trade agreements, etc. And all the decisions of this WTO, they are made collectively through the consensus. So this is very important. So here the decisions of this WTO, they are mainly made through consensus among the member countries. And the negotiators, they could not reach agreements on issues, for example, permissible public stock holding threshold for domestic security and domestic support to this agriculture, cotton market access, etc. And actually within this next 6 months, so members are expected to decide increasing the scope of agreements, and that mainly cover production and even supply of this COVID-19 diagnostics and as well as therapeutics, that is medicines. And if you're talking about patent relaxations regarding this COVID-19 vaccines, as you all know, here number of countries, they are mainly facing some problems regarding this COVID-19 vaccines development and as well as supply. So member countries, they agreed on authorizing the use of subject matter of patent for producing COVID-19 vaccines, and here there is no need of consent of rights holder. So now here member countries of this WTO, they agreed to use the subject matter, that is a patent for this producing COVID-19 vaccines, and without consent. Okay, and next one is here member countries, they are mainly focusing on waiving of requirements including export restrictions. Actually these were set forth by this WTO regulations regarding supplying of domestic markets and member countries with any number of vaccines. Now there is no restriction, and actually several least developed countries, they had suffered in their efforts to combat now nearly 3 years old pandemic. And even we are having some important factors like balance of payment situations, especially you can talk about Sri Lanka here, and there are different levels of development, financial capabilities, and also different degrees of import dependence on those products. And within the next 6 months, members are expected to decide on increasing the scope of agreement to cover production and supply of this COVID-19 diagnostics and as well as therapeutics. So this is about this topic. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding 5G spectrum bands. Okay, this article which is mainly talking about auction of 5G spectrum, and this topic is important from your GS paper to under governance, and from this topic you can get both prelims and as well as mains questions. So if you see context, recently our union cabinet, which mainly approved for this auction of this 5G, auction of airwaves of this 5G, that is 5th generation telecom services. So it mainly includes ultra high speed internet. It mainly includes ultra high speed internet, and here Union Cabinet, which mainly gave nod for setting up of captive 5G network. So it also said that we can go for setting up of this captive 5G networks by the big technological firms. An auction which is mainly over 72 gigahertz. Auction of over 72 gigahertz of spectrum will be held by 2022 July end. So if you see details regarding this 5G auction, so actually we are mainly using number of devices like mobile phones and wireless telephones, and actually whenever we are using the cell phones, mobiles and wireless telephones, yes, they need some signals to connect. We need some signals. So these signals, they are mainly carried in our airwaves. So here we must be sent at designated frequencies to avoid any interruptions or interferences. So here our union government, which mainly owns all the publicly available assets within the geographical boundaries of the country. So even it also includes airwaves. Airwaves are controlled under Government of India. So whenever there is expansion of number of mobile phones, number of cell phones, number of wireless telephone and internet, then what happens? We need to provide more space for the signals. Okay, whenever there is increasing the usage of mobile phones, yes, we need to increase the space for these signals. So to sell these assets to companies, they are willing to set up required infrastructure to transport these waves from one end to another. So now central government through the DOT auctions, okay, they are mainly coming up with auctions of these airwaves from time to time, and these waves are nothing but spectrum, and these spectrum which mainly divide into different different bands: low band frequency, high band frequency, medium band. Okay, so these are different types of bands which are mainly seen. All these airwaves, they are mainly sold at a certain period of time, and the validity will be nearly 20 years. So if you're talking about this 5G technology, actually this 5G technology is one of the latest upgrade LTE, long term evolution mobile broadband networks. So here this 5G technology, which mainly offers extremely very low latency rate and as well as delay between the sending and as well as receiving of information. Okay, so if you are using this 4G, the latency period here, it is like 200 milliseconds, and now this can be bring down to 1 millisecond in this 5G. So if you are talking about what are the benefits, so first one is it will enable the development, testing and proliferation of 5G technology system components, cross-sectoral use cases, and also it will be focusing on development of even 6G technology landscape in the country. Okay, it will be enabling the development, testing and proliferation of this 5G technology system components, and they are also mainly used for the streaming of videos with multiple camera angles during the sports matches or everyday immersive video games, etc. And here this 5G technology, which can be also used to connect Internet of Things. And other benefits here is we can use this 5G technology even in healthcare, public safety and as well as autonomous vehicles. So in healthcare, which mainly creates a sensor networks to track patients and as well as share information which is very much faster than ever before. And next one is public safety. So a vast network and rapid response times means that public works can respond to incidents, emergencies in the seconds rather than minutes. And next one is, especially when we want to communicate with these autonomous vehicles, yes, we need this 5G technology. So these are some benefits of this 5G technology. And now let us try to see next topic. It is regarding India-Bangladesh relations. So title says India-Bangladesh should work on river management. So India-Bangladesh should work on river management. So this article will be important regarding GS paper 2 under international relations. And this topic is important from your mains point of view. So now let us try to see this topic in detail, and you have to know different areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh in the recent times. Sorry. So if you see context, it mainly says that India and Bangladesh, they should work together for comprehensive management of rivers. Yes, as you all know, there are number of rivers which are mainly flowing between India and Bangladesh. So here this article says that India should work together for comprehensive management of rivers. So this is a thing which mainly said by our Ministry of External Affairs. So mainly he was delivering opening remarks at the 7th round of India-Bangladesh Joint Consultative Commission. So if you see details, it mainly says that, so from Indian side, we said that we are mainly going to use artificial intelligence, startups, fintech and cyber security, and we are mainly wishing to work with Bangladesh in these areas. And we are also now started sharing flood management data for an extended period. And the minister took up riparian dimensions of bilateral relations with Bangladesh. And as you all know that Bangladesh is one of the largest trade partner of India in South Asia. And we said that, so about 54 rivers that are mainly flowing, and here we need to work together and we need to share environmental responsibility, especially in some areas like Sundarbans. So recently we discussed about United Nations report on the Sundarbans, right? So we need to focus on conservation of the Sundarbans because wetlands, they mainly serve number of environmental services. And India and Bangladesh, they have resolved border problems through land boundary agreement we came up in year 2015, but have been a dialogue over the sharing of multiple rivers, and we mainly define the borders and impact on the lives and as well as livelihoods on the both the sides. So Bangladesh, which has been particularly keen on receiving a fair share of waters of Teesta. So especially one important concern between India and Bangladesh issue is Teesta water issues, Teesta water sharing. And next one is, so they came up with the releasing of a joint statement, and they mainly focus on importance of safety and speedy, sustainable return and forcibly displaced people from Rakhine state of Myanmar. They may talk about even Rohingyas as well. So if you are talking about major achievements in India and Bangladesh relations in the recent times, so Bangladesh and India, they have achieved a rare feat of solving their border issues. We came up with this land boundary agreement in 2018 and we came up with exchange of enclaves which are present in India and as well as Bangladesh. And next one is Bangladesh government, which mainly led by Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, which mainly uprooted anti-India insurgency elements from its border. Okay, and they also came up with massive deployments of resources. And next one is Bangladesh is India's one of the biggest trading partners in South Asia, and here trade is about 1.04 billions. And next one is India also offered duty-free access to multiple Bangladeshi products. Okay, and we are having some non-tariff barriers from Indian side that could also be removed. And next one is the number of times we came up with the line of credit for this Bangladesh in the recent time, and the amount is like totally $8 billion, and it is mainly for developmental projects like road development, railways development, bridges and as well as ports. And Bangladesh, which mainly accounts more than 35% of India's international medical patients, and here Bangladesh, which mainly contributes more than 50% of India's revenue from this medical tourism. So these are some important areas of cooperation between India and Bangladesh. So if you say the map, you can see on the screen, so it mainly shows the Bangladesh. So this is Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is surrounded by India, and here it is also sharing boundary with this Myanmar. So here there are two important ports you have to know, that is Mongla port and as well as Chittagong port. Okay, so India and Bangladesh, they came up with signing of this transit agreement in November 2010, that is 2010, and here these two countries, they mainly signed MOU that is regarding Chittagong port and as well as Mongla port, and Dhaka may change the charge fee for the Indian goods which are mainly shipped through this Bangladesh. Okay, and here we are reaching Bangladesh through these two ports, and we are also using some roadway to reach this northeastern India as well. Okay, so this is about this topic, and now let us try to see yesterday's questions. So first question is regarding NDC, National Development Council. So with regard to this National Development Council, consider the following statements. So Prime Minister of India is the chairman, yes. Union Cabinet Ministers, they are represented in the council, yes. So it makes recommendations not only to central government but also state, yes. The correct option will be 1, 2 and 3. And next question is regarding CAT, that is Central Administrative Tribunal. So Central Administrative Tribunal's original jurisdictions exclude which of the following members? That is, first one here is civilian employees of defense services. Actually, it mainly deals with only public servants but not civilian members. You can eliminate this fourth option. So members of defense forces excluding civilian employees, yes. Officers and servants of Supreme Court, yes. Secretariat staff of Parliament, yes. So answer is 2, 3 and 4. And next, here we are going to see the today's practice questions. The first one, it is regarding which of the articles of Indian Constitution which mainly deals with the protection and development of this backward classes communities. And next question is regarding Anglo-Indians. So these are the two questions for the practice. So try to practice these questions and let me know the answer in the comment box. And I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathod Science, we came up with this foundational course for UPSC CSE 2023 and 2024. And these are some key faculty of this Rathod Science Academy. And some special features of this foundational course here is, so the lectures are taken by this expert faculty and comprehensive coverage of syllabus and 100% of conceptual clarity and more than 600 hours of classes excluding current affairs. And on current affairs we will be having separate classes on Sundays. Okay, and here the cost of this course, it is just 49,000 rupees, which mainly includes even 1 year prelims test series, 1 year mains answer writing practice course, and apart from this, if you clear this prelims, you will be also giving you short term mains test series as well. Okay, so in this way this course is absolutely beneficial. So please try to join this course, so that will be give you much benefits. Okay, so if you have any doubts regarding this course, you can call me on this number 8074765513. And if you want to watch demo videos, you can visit this website rathodsisacademy.com. So here you can see that foundational course at last. So first you have to visit our website rathodsisacademy.com. There you have to register with your email ID, and later on you can click on the course list, and you can see different wide range of courses that we are offering, and you can go through that ones. And if you want to see the demo videos, you can click on the play course, so that you will be getting 3 demo videos. You can watch them, and after watching that you can also click on this buy now for doing the payment for this purchasing of this course. Okay, and this is about our daily mains answer writing course that I said in introduction itself. So here daily mains answer writing practice course. So this course registration for this batch will be going to be closed by today's evening. So please try to join this course. It will be absolutely beneficial. And here you can click for the buy for the course here. Okay. So apart from that, I am the key faculty of ethics and as well as geography in this Rathod Science Academy. So if you want to get conceptual clarity regarding ethics and as well as geography, you can take the courses that we are offering here. Okay, so here one more announcement I want to make here is, so you can join the Telegram channel, and in this Telegram channel we are also providing the PDF of this today's lecture. So apart from that, we will also give you some notifications, some information regarding the current affairs as well. So that will be highly beneficial for the students who are preparing for even other state public services examination also. So this Telegram link is given in description box. So please try to join that Telegram channel as well. And now let us try to see today's Hindu newspaper PDF. So this is today's Hindu, and the date here is June 20. This is Delhi edition. So first topic is regarding services rule out rollback of this Agnipath reveal hiring plan. So actually here what happened across the country, there are a number of protests which are mainly seen from these aspirants who are preparing for this army. Okay. So because of this, they are mainly going for rolling back of this Agnipath scheme. And next one here is India gives emergency visas for 111 Afghan Hindus 6. So Union Home Ministry granted emergency visas to 111 Hindus and 6 from this Afghanistan. Okay, on Saturday. So I have to go through this article. Already I discussed some background regarding this topic in our earlier lectures. And next one is India has really helped us during this crisis, says Ranil. So actually Sri Lankan Prime Minister, he mainly says that yes, in crisis situation, India which mainly helped this Sri Lanka. So here you need to focus about India-Sri Lanka relations and areas of cooperation. That might be important from your mains for sure. And if you move forward, so leave the city page and as a states page, and you can directly move on to this editorial page. So here I discussed about this EPI topic, I discussed about this designation failure, I discussed about this monsoon topic. And if you move forward, here there is one article that is important but I didn't take for the discussion here, is recognizing compulsory women worker. Okay, so there is an urgent need for widespread service for this poor rural women how they spend their time. So this topic is important from our society point of view, and here if you see this article, which mainly talks about data by the CMI Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, which mainly says that labor participation of rural women, it was just 9.92% in March 2022 compared to 67.24% for men. Okay, so here we can see a lot of inequality which is mainly seen. So because of this, there is urgent need to come up with a survey of this poor women, poor rural women, how they are spending their time. And if you move forward in this text and context, I discussed about this ministerial conference, and I discussed about this auctioning of 5G spectrum bands. And if you move forward to this newspaper, 10th paper, so here army teams led this flood rescue in Assam. As I said, in northeastern India and as well as eastern part, there is a heavy rainfall, heavy floods. So here army teams, they are mainly focusing on rescuing in this Assam region. And next one is 20 Indian fishermen, they were released by Pakistan. So regarding Pakistan and Sri Lanka, so we will be having one issue always here is fishermen issue. Okay, so here fishermen from this Tamil Nadu and this Gujarat region, they will be crossing this international boundary and they will be entering into the waters of other countries and they will be caught and they will be taken into custody, right? So because of this, always we are mainly talking about this fishermen issue between India and Sri Lanka and as well as India and Pakistan. It will be always seen in news. And if you move forward, here you can see in this 12th page, so 5 high courts to get new chief justices. So here you need to focus on appointment of justice for judges for this high courts. So this will be very important. And this one is India Bangladesh should work on river management. I discussed this topic. And if you move forward, Ukraine war could last years, NATO chief. So NATO chief, he mainly said that yes, Ukraine could, this war between Russia and Ukraine, that could last for years. Okay, so this is the one important thing, and here you have to refer about some facts regarding this NATO. And these are some important articles that appeared in our today's Hindu newspaper. So I hope you understand this lecture, and please subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and don't forget to like, share and comment my videos, and try to enroll the courses that we are providing in this Rathod's IAS, as today it is the last day for registration for this mains answer writing practice, and try to join the Telegram channel. So by this I am concluding. Thank you so much.